How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.
Sunrisers Hyderabad may have just missed out on the IPL 2024 title, but weren't they the headline makers of that season? Here they are, ready to commence a new campaign. It starts against Rajasthan Royals in Hyderabad. We build up to match number 2 of IPL 2025 on Maruti Suzuki Arena, presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout, where we are in the company of Varun Aaron and Piyush Chawla. Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
The question following Sunrisers everywhere they go. Having done everything they did last year, are they going to breach 300 this year?
Well, it's not going to be that easy because 300, to score 300, you have to start hitting boundary right from the first ball till the 120th ball. So it's not, and if you remember in one game last year where they scored 277 runs, where I was the part of the bowling lineup in the other team, in every over they were hitting 2-3 boundaries, but still they were short by 23 runs. So 300, it's not going to be that easy, and the other teams will definitely come prepared against them this year.
If it makes you feel better, that was not their highest total of the season. They went even better and made 287.
But still they were not able to score 300.
Yes, but now when we consider this batting lineup, they retained 4 of the core from last year and they've added Ishan Kishan. What do you make? Does it look stronger than last year?
Definitely it does look stronger than last year. Ishan Kishan is coming in really hungry this season to make a mark because he's fallen out of favor in the Indian team. He's fallen way low in the pecking order compared to a lot of other keepers. He definitely doesn't want to be there. He's been really hungry for runs. Not had the best domestic season, but he's going to want to make it up with a good IPL. And then they've got Abhinav Manor as well. We've seen that he's a capable finisher. He can hit some big shots down the order.
Yeah, and that was a facet of their side. I mean, there's not much you could say against Sunrisers as far as their batting was concerned. But the 6 and 7 with Abhinav Manohar, there's Aniket Verma, who we're hearing good things about. You think it looks better than what they had last season?
For sure. They lacked somebody to take the tempo up if Klaasen got out at some stage. But this year, they're not going to have that problem, hopefully. From the outlook of things, obviously on paper, before the IPL, things look a certain way. But when the first ball's bowled, when things start flying around, then we all see what's actually going to happen.
Let's consider the bowling, because 3 of the overseas picks are locked. You've got Head, Klaasen, Cummins. They've added Adam Zampa. You think he's a sure starter?
I feel he is, because if you look at their bowling lineup last year, they had all the bases covered in the fast bowling department, but the place where they lagged was the spin department. You have Shahbaz Ahmed, he's more of a batting all-rounder, and Mayank Markande, who didn't have that kind of a season which you expect from him. Yeah. So I think Adam Zampa will definitely start in the playing 11 in the first few games.
They have also added Rahul Chahar. How do you see the pros and cons of having 2 wrist spinners in operation together?
Well, having 2 wrist spinners is actually an advantage, because wrist spinner, right arm leg spinner, if you say, they can bowl against left-handers and right-handers. You don't have to think that, okay, there's a left-hander on strike, you can't get a leg spinner, because you can bowl a slider, you can bowl a flipper to him, then a wrong one. So you have a lot of option, lot of variation as a bowler. So if you have 2 leg spinner in your playing 11, that's an advantage to the captain, I feel.
Not just 2 leg spinners, 2 really good leg spinners. I think Rahul Chahar is one of those leg spinners who's proven himself over the years, and Adam Zampa, again, one of the most underrated spinners in world cricket today. Not too many people talk about him, but if you see every single Australian victory, when it comes to the World Cup victory or in any big tournament, he's always their leading wicket taker.
So that is Sunrisers. Let's turn our attention towards Rajasthan Royals, who were a consistent performing side in that last auction cycle, retained a bunch of their domestic core. They come in knowing that they'll have a new leader at the helm, at least for the first 3 games. Sanju Samson can only bat at the start of the season. Riyan Parag, what do you expect from him as he takes up this leadership role, playing at home in Guwahati?
Look, Riyan Parag is part of the fabric of Rajasthan Royals. They've invested a lot of time and energy into his development. So he's going to want to give something back to the franchise like he did last year. This year he's been given the captaincy, which is a great boost to him. He's playing in his home ground, which is again another benefit. So he's going to come in with a lot of confidence. But the only question mark with Riyan Parag is he's not played a single game in a very, very long period of time. He's been struggling with his shoulder. So I hope he's in good form and he can take Rajasthan Royals in a good position to hand over Sanju Samson the team after 3 games.
What they've done this year, Piyush, is they've gone in a direction we haven't seen many teams use in the IPL, because potentially they have a top 5 which is all Indian, rarely used in the IPL. What do you make of that strategy?
But if you look at those Indians, they have done really well last year for them. Yashasvi Jaiswal, Sanju Samson, what he's capable of, we all know. Then, as Varun mentioned, they've invested a lot of time in Riyan Parag, and that investment really paid off last year. He scored those bulk of runs, and then Dhruv Jurel, who can bat in top of the order if needed, who can bat as a finisher as well. So I think there is no harm in retaining those Indian players, and you have then finisher Shimran Hetmeyer, and so I think batting looks decent, to be honest.
And to add to the 5 names mentioned by Piyush, they also have Nitish Rana, who they acquired at the auction. He could potentially bat number 3. Let's focus on the bowlers, because at the auction we saw about 30 crores spent to acquire 4 bowlers: Jofra Archer, Tushar Deshpande, Hasaranga, Theekshana. What do you make of this mix?
I think if you let go somebody like Yuzi Chahal and Ravichandran Ashwin, you're going to have to get somebody really good to replace them. They've gotten 2 foreigners to replace them. Sorry, overseas players, which is always tricky, because when you have to play 2 overseas bowlers in your playing 11, it gets really tough to make a combination in case your batsmen are not firing. That's going to be something which is going to be a challenge. And again, with Jofra Archer, his form has not been great off late. He's going to have to lead this attack. Sandeep Sharma is a wiry old fox. He bowls very well according to the conditions, and he exploits whatever talents he has to the maximum. But if you look at RR squad, all in all, their first playing 11 is really good. But we're going to have to see if they have the depth to take them through the season.
I do want your opinion on the spinners, because it's quite rare to see 2 overseas spinners as your only frontline spin options in a squad.
That's actually came as a surprise to me, because, and especially for a team like Rajasthan, who plays most of the game in Jaipur, where it's spin friendly, big ground, wicket keeps slow and low, you need some quality Indian spinner. And when you sit at the auction, you want to consider that fact, and you're getting those 2 spinners. One is Theekshana and Hasaranga. It's like, okay, he has done well in whatever games he has played internationally, but those games have come against the sides, the associate nations. When you come to IPL, it's a different ball game altogether, so it's going to be a challenge. It's not going to be that easy.
So we're not all too convinced about Rajasthan's bowling lineup. Going up against Sunrisers, who we're wondering if they'll score 300. Sunrisers favourites in this one?
I think Sunrisers will be favourites, especially with the way Rajasthan have lost a bulk of their team. They've lost Joss Butler. Joss Butler is a big lose for Rajasthan. He was their go-to man. We need to win this game, Joss Butler. We need to up the ante, Joss Butler. He was the answer to everything for Rajasthan Royals for a very long period of time. So they're definitely going to miss him, and I would favour SRH for this game.
SRH definitely, because looking at if you see one-on-one players, so SRH look much stronger than Rajasthan Royals.
All right, SRH favourites, say our panel. This is a rematch of qualifier 2 from IPL 2024. That 2 was won by Sunrisers. Let's see if Rajasthan can pull one back. Be sure to catch the build-up to the game just ahead of toss time on Maruti Suzuki Arena. Presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout.
How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.